After the offensive explosion the Knicks had against the Memphis Grizzlies, where we caught that W, it got me to think what the remaining schedule for the Knicks is going to look like up until All-Star break. So I'm going to break all that down. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dariel, Mr. Queens of Nowhere, Mr. Queens Get the Money. You guys know the drill. You guys know the vibes. Before I get into today's video, I just want to remind you guys that we got 68.5% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. We need you guys to stop what you're doing right now, hit that thumbs up, and also, more importantly, hit that subscribe button. If you guys like the content that Chris and I are putting out, if you guys like to see Mr. Queens all day, Queens Get the Money, you guys know the drill. If you guys like what you guys see and hear from us, please hit that subscribe button. But the way the Knicks played on Monday night against the Memphis Grizzlies was very, very impressive. There was a lot of ball movement. There was a lot of body movement. There was just highlight after highlight after highlight. We got Precious doing a Euro step dunk. We got Deuce McBride taking off 2 feet and yamming it on Santi Aldama, I think it was. Like, we just had highlight plays after highlight plays. And I was watching the game at work, and I had the volume very low, but I could feel the energy through my phone. That's how I was watching it. And I was just thinking, like, what's it gonna look like for the next 7 games? We have 7 more games up until we have All-Star break. And if we're playing with this type of energy, if we're playing with this type of ball and body movement, what is the record gonna be? So what are the 7 games that we have in front of us until All-Star break? So Wednesday, we're going to be at home against Denver. And then on Saturday, we got LeBron and AD coming into town, coming to the Garden. And then we got the Houston Rockets, Toronto, the Boston Celtics, Indiana Pacers, and the Atlanta Hawks. Okay, so we're going to break that down by each game individually. The first game, we got the Nuggets on Wednesday. Now, we only played 1 game this season against the Nuggets, and that was on November 25th, where we caught that W. We won 145-118. That game, OG Anunoby, that was OG Anunoby's really, really big offensive night. He ended up having 40 points, 16 of 23 from the field, 5 of 7 from three-point line, converting all 3 of his free throws. He grabbed 5 rebounds, dished out 4 assists, and he played in 38 minutes. Behind OG Anunoby, we had a really big game from Bodega Cat, 30 points, 12 of 15 from the floor, 2 of 2 from three-point line, which is a little surprising. Cat, I always think he's always going to end up around 5 or 6 three-point attempts for the night. But in this game, he only had 2, and he made both of them. So salute to Cat. 4 of 6 from free throws, grabbing 15 rebounds, dishing out 4 assists with 3 steals. So Cat had a very, very strong double-double. And how many minutes did he play? He played 34 minutes. And, of course, Denver Nuggets, who is their big man? Everybody knows, and everybody say it with me, Jokic. So Cat going up against Jokic and having a very stellar double-double, it's interesting. Behind OG and Cat's really big offensive games, then we got Jalen Brunson, 23 points, 8 of 14 from the floor, 4 of 5 from three-point line, converting all 3 of his free throws, dishing out 17 assists, grabbing 3 rebounds. How many minutes did he play? 38 minutes. So we only have 1 game to go off of with Denver, and this game was pretty early on in the season. Now, things might be a little bit different because as of late, Jamal Murray has been coming on strong. He's been looking like the old Jamal Murray, where he's able to take defenders off the dribble, attack the rim, stopping on the dime, hitting a mid-range shot, and he just looks like the old Jamal Murray. So I don't know, maybe this time it might be a little different. But after the Denver Nuggets, then we got the Lakers. The Lakers, we haven't even played this season. So there's nothing that we can go off of. There's no numbers, there's no box scores, there's no stats, no nothing. The only thing I can say is that the Lakers are, again, being led by LeBron James. And that organization, that team is a nightmare. I don't know what the hell they can do. I've been saying for the last 2 years amongst my friends that they need to trade AD. And it's from the other podcasts that I listen to, it seems like other people are kind of starting to come around on the trading AD. They don't really, their biggest weakness is the perimeter defense, man. They have no perimeter defense. Austin Reeves can't guard. He can't catch a cold, bro. Like, he can't do anything. He's just not. He has to work on his athleticism, and he is behind the 8 ball, and that's something that he can work on this upcoming offseason. But Dalton Connect is a rookie. Jackson Hayes backing up AD. That's not a solid big to come off the bench. Then you got Max Christie, who's still really young, who's still finding his way in the league. Vanderbilt is coming off an injury. There's just so many question marks with the Lakers, but whatever. After the Lakers, then we got the Houston Rockets. The only game that we played against Houston is on November 4th, where we actually caught that L and we lost 109-97. Now, in that game, Jalen Brunson led the team with 29 points, 9 of 24 from the field, not great. 2 of 4 from three-point line, 50%, but where he got most of his points, not most of his points, but he did a lot of his damage at the free throw line, converting all 9 of his free throws, dishing out 8 assists with 1 steal in 42 minutes that he played. Behind Jalen Brunson, we had OG Anunoby, 21 points, 7 of 14 from the floor, 5 of 6 from three-point line, converting 2 of his 3 free throws, grabbing 6 rebounds, dishing out 2 assists in 40 minutes. Behind Jalen Brunson and OG Anunoby, then we had Cat. Cat had 17 points, 7 of 17 from the floor. He took 2 3-pointers and he missed both of them, converting 3 of his 4 free throws, grabbing 19 rebounds with 1 block in 32 minutes. So that game against the Houston Rockets, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but we ended up catching the L. The Toronto Raptors is the game that we have after Houston, and we played them 3 times this season so far. We played them on December 9th, December 23rd, and earlier this month, January 8th. And all 3 times, we won. The first game, we won 113-108. The second game, we won 139-125. And the more recent game, we won 112-98. Toronto, I'm sorry, Ben. Salute to you for giving me this job. But Toronto they're just in complete retooling. They're in complete rebuilding. They're just a bad team. So this should absolutely be a W. Let me just mark that as a W, because I'm going to be doing a win-loss at the end of this video. So that's definitely going to be a W. Now, the game after the Toronto Raptors, we are going up against the reigning defending champions. We are going against the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics, we only played them 1 time so far this season, and that was on opening night, and that was on October 22nd to be exact, and we lost 132-109. Now, listen, like I said, opening night, teams, it's the first game of the season. Teams are feeling their way out, and of course, our opening night, we're implementing Mikal Bridges. We're implementing Karl-Anthony Towns. There's so many questions that we have around our team. But the one thing that I really do remember about opening night is Deuce McBride. Deuce McBride came off the bench, and he almost hit everything that he took. I think he only missed 2 shots, and he ended up with a box score of 22 points, 8 of 10 from the field, 4 of 5 from three-point line, converting 2 of his 3 free throws, dishing out 2 assists in the 26 minutes that he played. So he missed 2 regular field goals and he missed 1 3-point shot. And he was definitely the bright spot. As far as our starting 5, Jalen Brunson led us with 22 points, 9 of 14 from the floor, 1 of 2 from three-point line, converting all 3 of his free throws, dishing out 2 assists with 1 rebound in 25 minutes. It's interesting. I'm looking at the box score right now, and Karl-Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, and Josh Hart, all 3 of those players played about 25 minutes. And then Mikal Bridges played 35, OG Anunoby played 34. But it's interesting to see like how far we are from that opening night, because now the starting 5 is playing anywhere between 35 to 37, 38 minutes. And it's just interesting to see. Behind Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges was the second offensive leader for our starting 5, 16 points, 7 of 13 from the floor, 2 of 7 from three-point line. He took 1 free throw and he missed that, dishing out 2 assists in the 35 minutes that he played. Josh Hart and Karl-Anthony Towns, they both ended with 12 points. Karl-Anthony Towns was 5 of 9 from the floor, 1 of 2 from three-point line, converting his only 1 free throw attempt, grabbing 7 rebounds, dishing out 3 assists. Josh Hart, 12 points, 4 of 6 from the floor. Took 2 3-pointers and he missed both of those, converting 4 of his 6 free throws, grabbing 4 rebounds, dishing out 3 assists. So listen, Boston Celtics, it's interesting with Boston because right now I feel like it's the dog days of the NBA, where every team is around like 6-7 games until the All-Star break. So every team, not every single team, because some teams, their season ended back in like November, where they just, like the Washington Wizards, their season ended basically like beginning of December. They're horrible. But the Boston Celtics, they're in a peculiar situation right now, because from what I'm hearing and from what I've seen is they're struggling a little bit. They're kind of trying to find their way. It feels like they're kind of in the phase of trying to like turn it on and turn it off. There are some championship teams where they thought that they were able to turn it on and turn it off, and then whenever they went to go turn it on, it just wasn't there anymore. And I'm not saying that's what's going to happen with the Boston Celtics, but I don't know. From what I've seen, the duo of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, it doesn't seem as threatening as it was last year. Jason Tatum is, in my opinion, he is the best player on the Boston Celtics, and he's playing like it. He's having a really, really good year. But the question that I have with Boston is actually Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, it seems like he's taking a step back. I don't know exactly what it is. From the NBA talking head shows, from the stuff that I follow on the internet, I've seen some things that he's maybe put on too much weight on his body. He put on too much muscle. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm going to be very interested to see when Boston and the Knicks match up. After the Boston Celtics, we have the Indiana Pacers. Now, so far this season, we played them twice. We played them on October 25th, where we caught that W, 123-98, and November 10th, where we caught that L, 132-121. Now, in the first game this season that we had going up against the Pacers, we were led by Jalen Brunson offensively in our starting five, 26 points, 10 of 19 from the floor, 3 of 5 from three-point line, 3 of 4 from free throws, grabbing 5 rebounds, dishing out 5 assists. 30 minutes he played that night. Behind Jalen Brunson, we had Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges with 21 points apiece. Bodega Cat was 5 of 11 from the floor, 2 of 2 from three-point line, 9 of 10 from free throws, grabbing 15 rebounds with 1 steal and 2 blocks. 32 minutes he played that night. Mikal Bridges, 21 points, 8 of 12 from the floor, 2 of 3 from three-point line, converting 3 of his 4 free throws, dishing out 5 assists with 1 rebound, 33 minutes. So the Indiana Pacers, they're an interesting team because to start off the season, it seems like they were trying to find their footing. And it kind of seems like they're coming along. I believe right now in the Eastern Conference, the Indiana Pacers, they're actually in 5th place. Right now we're in 3rd in the East, and we're only 1 game behind the Boston Celtics for that 2nd seed. But the Indiana Pacers, they are in 5th, and they're actually 5 games behind us for that 3rd seed. So they're coming on strong, man. They're coming on strong. But again, Tyrese Halliburton, I think I've seen recently that he's still having issues with his hamstring. Oh, no. I'm literally remembering as I'm talking about this, like they issued out a report that it was his hamstring, but then they corrected it, and I think it was a groin strain. So not the hamstring, but you never know. Maybe that's something that they're trying to cover up. But it's going to be interesting to see because we won the first game this season against the Pacers, and then we lost the second game. So this one, it might be a little interesting. I'm still going to take a W here because it's the Indiana Pacers, and I just like the way we've been gelling. Now, to round off the next 7 games, we have the player that I think we've seen the most this season. I feel like this guy, we see him every other day, the Atlanta Hawks and Trae Young. The first game of the season, November 6th, we lost 121-116, and then December 11th, we lost 108-100, and that was the infamous game where he won, and then he started playing CeeLo at half court. And then more recently, January 20th, which was last week, we won, and it was 119-110. So Trae Young, I fully expect us to get that W because I don't want any more Trae Young talk as far as like he's owning the Knicks, and I really want Cat and Jalen Brunson to come out and be like, yeah, you guys might have caught the first 2 wins of the season, but we're right back on you, and we're going to get the second win. Now, just to tally it all up, the first game of the next 7-game span against the Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, man, he is a monster. SGA is my MVP, but I'm still going to go with the W here. I'm going to go with the W, but if we lose to the Nuggets, I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm going to go with the W. The Lakers, I'm going with the W. I don't care. The Lakers, they're not good. They're just not good. We should win. We 100% should win. The Rockets, you know what? I'm gonna say we're gonna take an L here, and I say we're gonna take an L because the Rockets, they remind me of a younger, even more younger version of OKC. OKC is super young, but it's interesting because they just have so many like athletic guards and with their youth and just going up and down the floor. Alperen Sengun should definitely get some all-star consideration this year. Cat should definitely outplay him, but I think that's going to be a tough game. And I think the Rockets, they just might surprise us. So I'll take an L there. The Toronto Raptors, absolutely a W. There's no question about that. They're horrible. Boston, that's interesting. Because when I talked about Boston, I said how they're just in a little bit of a, they're like, it seems like they're a little bit confused right now and they don't know exactly, or they might be bored, or they straight up just might be bored. They just might be bored. But you know what? I'm gonna put some respect on Tatum and Brown. I'm gonna put some respect on Tatum and Brown, and I'm gonna say we catch that L. The Indiana Pacers, I say we win, and the Atlanta Hawks, we win. So after tallying it all up in the next 7 games, I think we're gonna go 5-2. So that is my tally with my heart. With my heart, I'm gonna go with a 5-2 record. But with my brain, it could actually be a record of 2-5. The first game against the Nuggets, I could see us losing that. Jamal Murray, like I said, he's coming on strong. Russell Westbrook and Jokic, Russell Westbrook actually looks like a respectable player. And I have all the respect on Russell Westbrook. I just don't understand why the NBA media, they just crucify him. But it seems like Jokic and him, they have a nice little 2-man thing going. So you never know. Westbrook might catch fire. Jokic might just dominate Cat. Jamal Murray might go for 40, 45 points. So you never know. So that could be an L. Then the game right after that against the Lakers, again, LeBron and AD. LeBron is 40 years old, carrying the Lakers. They're not going to win a championship. Absolutely not. But for one night, LeBron having 40, AD having 30 or 35, like that can carry them for a win against the Knicks. So that's another L. So we're 0-2 so far. The Rockets, instead of the loss that I said, we can actually catch that W. So right now we're 1-2. The Toronto Raptors, even with my brain or my heart, we're gonna win no matter what. We're gonna win no matter what. So that's not gonna change. So we're actually 2-2 right now. But against the Boston Celtics, I caught an L. So we're 2-3. The Pacers, we can catch an L. So we're 2-4. And the Atlanta Hawks, as much as I don't like saying it, as much as you guys don't like saying it, that can be another L. So that's 2-5 right there. So ideally, of course, I would like it to go 5-2, but this is the NBA. You never know. Things might happen. Maybe a little knick-knack injury might pop up. You just never know. That's it for today's video, guys. I want to say thanks so much for checking it out. Leave it in the comments and let me know what you guys think about my 7-game record up until the All-Star break. After that Monday win against the Memphis Grizzlies, man, which was super impressive, just the way that we were playing, flying up and down the court, highlight play after highlight play. I'm very, very optimistic for the next 7 games going into All-Star break. We get some players to get some rest. Super happy about that. And if we end up going 5-2 and then we go into All-Star break with players getting rest, the second half, actually, it'll be a little bit more than the second half because we're already past the 41-game mark. But I'm very interested to see how we're going to end this 7-game schedule going into the All-Star break. But guys, you guys know the drill. You know the vibes. Jalen Brunson for all the MVPs. The Deuce is Deuce for co-MVP. OG Anunoby for Defensive Player of the Year. Taj Gibson, we love you and we miss you. We need you back in New York. But until next time, guys, you guys know the drill. Mr. Queens or nowhere. Mr. New York or nowhere. I'm out, baby. Queens.